Sales tax on Uber Eats, Amazon. Sales tax on admissions to a variety of businesses. Create two new higher tax brackets. 10% tax bracket for anyone making over $1 million. 3.8 investment tax. Raise the hotel tax. New personal property tax on landscaping equipment. Ban gas-powered leaf blowers. Guarantee illegal aliens free education. Make it illegal to approach somebody at an abortion clinic. Extend the time absentee ballots can be received after Election Day. Allow people to cast their votes electronically through the internet. Expand ranked choice voting. Extend the deadline for ballot curing. Redact the addresses of political candidates from FOIAs. Add Virginia to the National Popular Vote Compact. Make it illegal to hand count ballots. $500 sales tax on firearm suppressors. Assault weapons and large capacity magazine ban. 11% sales tax on all firearms and ammunition. Prohibit outdoor shooting of a firearm. Less than 5 acres. Lower the criminal penalties for robbery. Ban the arrest of illegal aliens in courthouses. Remove mandatory minimum sentences. Allow localities to install speed cameras. And replace Columbus Day with Indigenous Peoples Day.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. I am so thankful that you have found this channel. This is What If News. Ladies and gentlemen, I grant people trust by characteristics. I judge people on what I see. And one thing that shocks me is how much deflection there is everywhere, all the time. Today's hearing, deflection, deflection, deflection. I'm talking about the Jack Smith hearing, okay? A lot of deflection. What is the guy's name? Not LASIK, because that's... oh my goodness. The second in control of the hearing that was going on today, for some odd reason, he kept on making sure everybody knew, oh, you're over your time, you're over your time. You know, trying to get, people to stop talking about certain things. You'll see that later on in this. But the very first thing that I want to chat about is Michael Franone, or I think that's how you pronounce his name, Fanone. That guy, first off, appreciate the service of being a cop for 20 years and, Capitol Police and so forth and so on. But when I see this guy, he gives me the creeps. I mean, he really, really gives me the creeps. And you're going to see why. Today, during the hearing, one of the most outrageously weird things that happened was an altercation between this guy and some other guy. I'm not sure who the other guy was. Shaved bald head, wearing a nice suit, But the guy with the shaved bald head stuck his hand out, I don't know if they were trying, if he was trying to be friendly or whatever the case might have been. I imagine, if you stick your hand out trying to shake somebody's hand, that's trying to be friendly. But man, oh man, did it take a turn for the worst and the weirdest way. And then, lo and behold, this guy, Michael Franone, or whatever his name is, wound up in the right side of the chamber where the Democrats are, and the guy that sits next to Jim Jordan, whatever that guy's name is, Eric Swalwell. I mean, there was a whole group of people. He was one of the people that testified, about January 6th and so forth and so on. It just seems... Things seem to be really weird, and things that seem to be weird is all the stuff that you're hearing in the news is like making you say, what in the world? Like, for instance, Trump announced that before long, people from 2020 situation is going to be arrested, so that would be interesting. Jan 6th, that's obviously a sham. Anybody with the right mind knows exactly what Donald Trump said on that day when he was speaking to the crowd, and then sent out a text 20 minutes later and all this stuff. And man, ladies and gentlemen, my firm belief is that Trump has been playing for many, many years chess. They have done everything in the world to shut him down. including trying to kill him, which is unimaginable. Like that stress from that situation would be just, it'd be mind-boggling. And when it comes to family, so on, and you know, boy, could I tell you a story, but I'm gonna refrain from telling a story of my younger years. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this guy gives me the absolute creeps. And it's not because of his tattoos and all this other stuff and whatnot. It's not, has nothing to do with that. It's his persona. It is the way that he slings himself around thinking that it's swagger. No, it's not swagger. You look like a douche. That's what it really boils down to. So let's get in it. It's like a 5-minute clip. I'm not going to unedit anything on this. This is real deal Holyfield, what happened today. And then I'm going to show you a female reporter afterwards. And then I'm going to be right back after that to discuss the next clip that also has him in it.
Every single time I communicate with you, I am always professional with you. I'm not. It requires other people to contain their Tourette's syndrome. Okay? I'm not going to get it. Oh, have a trade of this fucking country. Why are you so spasmodic? Why spasmodic? Absolutely. Look behind me. Why should I? I'm communicating with you. Right? Look at your face and control yourself. Trust me, I'm using a lot of how many people are constraining you? Look at me. Total control over my mind and body.
Hey, the meeting will be in order. Mr. Chairman, will you...
No shit.
Sir. Meeting will be in order.
Treating these people that way.
This guy is threatening my family.
Members of the audience,
Children.
members of the audience will please sit down or remove themselves from the committee room.
Rape my children, you sick bastard. Rape my children.
Sit down, please.
Thank you, Officer Franone. Mr. Chairman, please control the deranged observer, Mr. Rakeland, so he doesn't create any other problems with us today.
Imagine what he did on January 6th with that demeanor. Look at my demeanor. Complete professional here. I stuck my hand out to say hello to Mr. Franone, and then he just completely flipped the switch. His Tourette's kind of kicked in. You got to remember, when you read his book, he's a drug user, he's an alcoholic, spends quite a bit of time drinking alcohol. He may be under the influence right now. His face was twitching completely out of control. Additionally, if you refer back to his book, he's mentioned several times where he likes to drink at 2, 3 in the morning, communicating with Nancy Pelosi. We've all seen that Nancy Pelosi, the former Speaker of the House, also likes to imbibe in alcohol. So, bottom line here is, I wanted to display to the entire committee that this is the U.S. Metropolitan Police Department officer. If he's going to act that way with somebody professional, just introducing the same way to him, imagine what he did on January 6th. These are the 4 witnesses, the U.S. Capitol Police and Metropolitan Police Department officers, that lost their cool that day and attacked unarmed, peaceful First Amendment rally attendees on January 6th. That's the lawlessness. My name is Ivan. Great department, just keep your phone out. Relax. It's ridiculous. You're making a spectacle unnecessary. We will. kids are great. 2 teenagers, Tim and Gregory, 15, and actually he just turned 16. And my other kid, Gregory, is 14.
Ivan,
Sir.
just be careful, all right?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, try to keep it going now. Got the attention on you right now.
So, ladies and gentlemen, what you've seen there is him being just a real douchebag. And then once he figured out that everybody was surrounding him and so forth and so on, then he started really getting into his outside voice. You know what I mean? Like start hooting, hollering, and cussing, and talking about this and talking about that. You heard what he said. I mean, that stuff is, I don't understand. I don't know who the guy is with the bald head. I don't know, because I don't know. I just don't know. At some point, I might, but right now, I don't know. But then you see the way that he spoke to a reporter.
Officer Franone, how are you today?
I'm great.
What happened in there?
What are you talking about?
That confrontation.
Jack Smith testified about how he had proof beyond a reasonable doubt that Donald Trump incited, orchestrated, and funded the insurrection at the Capitol on January 6, 2021.
It seemed like there was a fight in there.
No, there was no fight.
Is it true, Officer Franone, that you turned off your own body camera on January 6th?
No.
I saw your body cam. You turned it off yourself. You were playing dead. I saw your body cam footage.
You're a fucking
What am I?
right-wing conspiracy theorist.
I saw you turn off your body cam footage, sir. But thank you for disrespecting me. Psychopath.
When she brought up the fact of him turning off his body cam on January 6th. And yes, if you haven't seen it, search it. It is out there, ladies and gentlemen. Probably be able to find it on YouTube. Maybe, unless YouTube is like, oh man, can't let that be out there. I know you can find it on Twitter, 100%. And that lady was just being there, doing her job. And lo and behold, yet again, another douchebaggish moment from this dude, Michael Franone, whatever, I don't really care. But then, here's another aspect of it, and he's also one of those people that's stoking the fire.
None of the actions that were shown in the countless videos from numerous angles that are available to you, and I suggest you watch them because I've watched them all. I take it very seriously when I come out and critique, as a former law enforcement officer, another law enforcement officer's behavior. And I can't find any justification for what this agent did. It's outrageous. It's wrong. The administration is trying to cover it up, calling this woman a domestic terrorist.
Actions have consequences. Words have consequences. Elections have consequences.
Well, that's the new governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, Abigail Spanberger, ran for that office as a moderate. But the executive order that she talked about is state and local police not cooperating with ICE to get criminal illegal immigrants. There's also a list of, now the Democrats control the legislature, that a number of bills that have been put forward. You can't read it here, but let me just go through it. Sales tax on Uber Eats, Amazon. Sales tax on admissions to a variety of businesses. Create 2 new higher tax brackets. 10% tax bracket for anyone making over $1 million. 3.8 investment tax. Raise the hotel tax. New personal property tax on landscaping equipment. Ban gas-powered leaf blowers. Guarantee illegal aliens free education. Make it illegal to approach somebody at an abortion clinic. Extend the time absentee ballots can be received after Election Day. Allow people to cast their votes electronically through the internet. Expand ranked choice voting. Extend the deadline for ballot curing. Redact the addresses of political candidates from FOIAs. Add Virginia to the National Popular Vote Compact. Make it illegal to hand count ballots. $500 sales tax on firearm suppressors. Assault weapons and large capacity magazine ban. 11% sales tax on all firearms and ammunition. Prohibit outdoor shooting of a firearm less than 5 acres. Lower the criminal penalties for robbery. Ban the arrest of illegal aliens in courthouses. Remove mandatory minimum sentences. Allow localities to install speed cameras. And replace Columbus Day with Indigenous Peoples Day.
Commissions have consequences. Investigations have consequences, whether they want to know it at that particular moment in time. But ladies and gentlemen, it is just the fact that this guy creeps me out. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave you with this. It is gold. Ladies and gentlemen, 2026, I think, is going to be the start of something that's just amazing. I sure hope it's amazing. 100% I hope it's amazing, because the simple fact that if it's amazing, that means people are going to be finally held accountable, or they are being held accountable, which would be making it amazing.
Committee provide you with the Cassidy Hutchinson testimony as part of the trove of documents that you received?
As I sit here now, I don't recall, but it would.
Well, you're familiar with her testimony, aren't you?
I am. And
in fact, wouldn't you agree with me that Ms. Hutchinson's testimony, especially the most explosive allegations made, was comprised of hearsay upon hearsay upon hearsay? Come on, you're an attorney. Mr. Smith, you can answer the question. Of course it was hearsay. And hearsay isn't admissible in a court of law, is it? Why? Because it is inherently unreliable, and the victim or the target of a prosecution is not able to cross-examine. Isn't that correct? In fact, Mr. Smith, if you had attempted to walk into court with Cassidy Hutchinson's testimony, you would have been thrown out on your ear. No judge, no legitimate judge would have ever allowed the testimony of Cassidy Hutchins to be admitted in a court of law, would they?
I disagree.
Well, and then we've already talked about your record.
Mr. Chairman, the gentlelady's time has long since expired.
The time of the gentleman.
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. I can't thank you guys enough. Good night. God bless.